Hello again everybody, and welcome to another skillful DTS tutorial. Now, I thought I would go out of my comfort zone a little bit today. I have not used Blender for texturing very much, so in the spirit of things I thought I would learn a bit with you guys, because obviously not everyone will have Substance Painter, so this would be a good opportunity to show what could be done actually just using Blender and a few free images from the internet. So I did have a little test. If I just drag this one over from my other screen, as you can see I've come up with something that's like this, that if I take this section, as you can see, is a tileable piece. Even stuck a little bit of normal information in, and the wood, I don't know, hope you can see that. Let me see if I can get a bit closer. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer to that wood. Don't know. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Now, if you can see that, there is a little bit of information there. Maybe a little much, but as it's going to be on the floor, you can just see it creeping in as you're at eye height, which is around there. There's a little bit of dirt and grunge, bit of concrete showing through, as all the wallpaper's peeled off and been damaged. So I thought we could have a go at recreating that today. Now, stand back over there a minute. Let's get started then. I started with this piece, and the first thing I thought I'd do was show you what I got off the internet. So all I did was put in seamless wallpaper texture, and I come across this one here. So come up like this, and it was 736 by 735. It's this second one in. There are others, but they are watermarked. That's reasonably okay, but it was a bit dirty for what I wanted to do with it, whereas this was a lot cleaner. So all I did, let me just bring up Photoshop, and I will start a new instance of Photoshop actually. Oh no, it just brings up that one. Okay, right, I will just save this. File, save, Photoshop, where did I have it? I think I will just put it on my desktop for now. Okay, right, okay. And we will start with a clean sheet of Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, you can use GIMP for this, so you'll still be able to use a free program there. So if we go and view it, we get this. If we drag that into Photoshop, and we have it there, double click on that, click OK, so it's not a locked image. Okay. Ooh, cancel that a minute. We're still up. Yes, we're still up. Okay, right. So the next thing we're going to do is go to Image, Canvas Size, and we're going to change our canvas size into pixels, and we're going to go 2048 by 2048. If I write correctly, and that will give us that. Okay. Next thing we'll do is we'll put a couple of guides in, one in the middle there and one in the middle there. Okay, now I want to duplicate this layer and keep the original. Take the copy, move it up into the corner until it fits. grab and just hold the shift key till you get it there. It's okay. Zoom in so we can see our guides, and then we can match it up in there. Now I'm assuming that guide's not in the middle by the look of it. No, it's not. How it is. Okay. Right. So there's our first piece. Press the Alt key and drag it over, holding the Shift key till it matches. Shift select the other one on the other side. Alt, drag it down. And there's our texture. And just turn off the guides a minute. So there's our first section that we're going to need. So if I select the top one, press Ctrl E a number of times so we get down there. Now we have our original, and then we have our tiled section. Now you can leave it blue if you want, but as you saw before, I made it red. So I think I should show you how I did that. I made it like a red and a brown colour. So we'll select our magic wand, select everything that is blue, make sure that contiguous and anti-aliasing is off, because if you do that you will miss pieces. As you can see, if I press zoom and zoom in here, we are missing these pieces in here, so they would stay blue. Go back to our full mode with Ctrl 0. So if I select that, turn off anti-aliasing, turn off contiguous, and then select, you can see we get everything. Now I'm going to make a new layer. While everything's selected, I'm going to get my paintbrush, select my round brush, and then let's find our red colour. So I'm thinking a little orangey red, browny colour. Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks good. Let's paint that. Okay. Now, while everything is still selected, go up to select, and then where's invert? Oh no, yeah, select inverse. There it is. Or Shift Control I. Select the inverse, and then let's select another colour. Let's do it a little yellowy this time. Okay, bit of interest. Select our paintbrush again, and then paint it. Right, that looks good. Right. Control D to get out of the selection, and as you can see we have our original blue one and we have our new one. So I'll turn that one off, and this is our new piece that we have that looks really good at the moment. Excuse my sniffles. So that's our first part done. So I'm going to take a duplicate of this, turn off our other one, and I'm going to desaturate this with image mode, adjustments, and then I'm going to go down here where it says desaturate. I'm going to bring up levels. I'm going to bring the black in, bring the white up, so it's nice and contrasty. Okay. Looks good. Okay. That looks fine. So I'll Control E that. Yeah. Now I was intending to use this for the specular map, which I haven't done yet on the other one, but we can do on this once it's done. Right, so let's go back to our original one. well, our made one that we have made ourselves. I'm going to export this, so I shall bring up and make a new folder. Let's just bring this over. It's 3D drive, Blender files, tutorials. Delete those ones for now. No, I'll just make a new folder in here. New folder, and I'll call this Modular Textures. Okay. So we're going to file, save as, and we'll call this wall 01 diff for diffuse. And we'll save this as a JPEG. We will go to our folder, which is tutorials, modular textures, and we will save it there. Turn it down slightly. Doesn't need to be quite so high. 1.8 meg, 1.2, 1.1's fine. Medium settings. Okay, and we'll see how that looks in a sec. Right, let's bring up our modular wall piece. Let's make a new material. I am in Blender render here, which is fine because you can still bake out these materials and they'll still look fine in game. Okay, so we have our new material, and we'll go into the textures tab. We'll click new, open. We shall go to our folder where the Blender files, where we saved our texture, the textures, and we see we have our texture here. So I will select that, open image. Now I will go to material mode, and you'll see it's been applied. Okay, so next thing I will do, put the cursor there, do Shift A, and I will add a lamp, point lamp. And here's our point lamp. Bring it into position a little bit. Okay. And as you can see, we have our texture that seems to be already as it is tiling. And to check it, we'll select that. Next wall piece, we'll select materials, and we will apply that material, and we will bring it across. And as you can see, it's a fully tiling piece. So select our original wall again, go back to our texture, and let's tile it 2 by 2 by 2. Okay, and there we have our first part done. And now it will be applied to the back as well, but we will put another material on that, or you can use the one material for all, I suppose. But you could do that. You could bake it out so that you've got this material in several corridors that run into each other and around, I suppose, or into one. You know, you go into a room here. If you bring the door one over and you go into a room, then this room inside could have the same as the hallway, by all means. But for now, that's our first part done. So let's add a little bit of specular to this, see if this works. I've not done this yet with this, so we are all working out. Select the new texture slot, and let's first save out our texture. So turn that one on, do File, Save As, save it as a JPEG, select our folder, Blender files, tutorials, modular textures, wall 1, and we will call this spec, almost, and then click save. And again we will turn this down. Might get this a little smaller. That's 1.2, but 7's 1.1. That's strange. Okay, we will save it as that and click OK. Go back into Blender. New texture, and we shall open. Selecting. If you select here, it will open the last folder you was in. I'll select that. I'll select open, and as you can see, we have it applied. Now we know that it has to be tiled 2 by 2, so 2, tab 2, tab 2, press enter. We shall not need the colour, but we shall need the specular intensity, so we get that. So the gold bits will shine. Let me turn this light up a little bit, so if I do it, say to 3, turn that down to 2 or even 1, and as you can see, we are getting our specular. Okay, which is what we want. That is what we really wanted at this moment in time. Now we can also use that specular. Are we still selected on that? Yes, we are, because we didn't want the colour, so we turned the colour off. But we could also use normal information off that. And here is where you have to be very cautious. Now this may not work actually, so I'll just move it a little bit that way. Yeah, I don't think that one's going to work. The specular one, I think it's just too dirty. Okay, put that back to 1, turn it off. Let's try our normal texture. It's a little dirtier this time, but there we have a bit of normal information. I wonder if I can make that cleaner and zoom in. It's quite clean. I don't know why it was doing that. It's solid colour, so that was very strange. Compared to the other one, come out quite well. As you can see, I didn't get the same kind of resolution, although it is there slightly. So we'll go with it. We'll go with it. We're learning here. I'm learning. You're learning. Yeah, it could be kind of, you know, dishevelled up. I mean, it could be. I think it's better sat in or than out actually. We'll leave it out a bit so it's like that. Okay. Good. So the next thing is to add some wood. So what we will do, we will leave that all set as it is, but we will save it, so just in case it crashes. So I will do save as go to our file, Blender, tutorials, modular sets, and we will call this wall 01 textures, and we'll save that there. Okay, now that's saved. So the next thing we're going to need some wood. So I was having a look, and I put in Google seamless wood textures free, and then I come down to this one here, which I like the look of. It looks quite kind of nice, a bit rustic, old, not too new. There were others, but they just, I don't know. I mean, you could use this one. This one doesn't look too bad, but this one does seem to have a bit more grit for the age. And they're both the same size, so out of these two you can use whichever one you like, but I'm going to stick with this one for now. So I'm going to view the image. Now you can right click, save picture as, if you want to do that, and then put it into a textures folder for yourself. I'm just going to drag this into Photoshop and stick it in the middle there. I am then going to show my lines, and I'm going to put that up there, and I'm going to drag it there to there. Okay, I'm going to press Alt, drag it across, shift select them both, press Alt and drag it down, and as you can see we have a tiling texture. And then do select the top one, press Control E till we get to that point, so we have that texture now. So now we can do File, Save As, and again we save it as a JPEG, and we will call this Wall Diffuse 01. I will put this as, I'll just say Wood Diffuse. Okay, 600 kilobytes is fine. Let's bring up our wall. Now we are going to need a new material, so I'm going to go to here, click the plus sign, click new, and we'll name this one a wall paper, and we'll select this one and we will call this skirting. We'll just call it skirting, and that's fine for now. So we'll turn that specular down. We will not need that. I could turn that whiteness up on that, and on this it'll brighten it up a little bit. As you can see, you can brighten and dull things down, so you can get a different effect like that as well, which brings it in. But I will leave it as full bright so we can use the lights in the scene very well. Yeah. Okay, right. So we'll select our piece again, and this time we'll go into edit mode. We will click on our skirting board there, and I will do okay, and then we will select skirting and assign, and that material will change. So now we'll go over to here, over to the textures tab, add a new texture, and we will go to our modular textures, and we shall open that wood texture. Now I've done this specifically this way, is so that when you see it, it will look like this and you'll think, oh my god, that is wrong. Well, I would agree. What we need to do is rotate it. So we'll select our material, holding shift, and rotate it round. We will click the arrow and then export it again, save as a JPEG, wood one, and then click save. Yes, we want to do that, that is fine. Go back to Blender and reload that file. Now it still doesn't look very pleasing, does it? Looks awful. Right, so now what we have to do is start tiling this. So if I do 5 by 5 by 5, we get something a little bit more pleasing to the eye. That's nice. Okay, now let's see what we do when we turn the specular intensities on. That's okay. Let's turn the normal on, and it goes awful. So we shall set this to 0.1, and that is still not very nice. And we will set it to 0.05, and now we're getting something a little bit more usable. Yeah, that's fine. You know, you can turn it up a tad if you want, 0.707, just to give it a little bit, because you're not really going to be getting down there and seeing that hell of a lot. So that'll be fine as it is. Okay, as you can see, it hasn't gone over to this one because we haven't applied this material to this one yet. So if we add that material, skirting, and then applied it, select skirting, assign, you now see we have a complete tiling texture. There we go, you can see it then between the two pieces, which you can't see no gaps, nothing. It absolutely looks like that piece is part of that wall, which is what we want, so that when it is in game, you just won't see the join, and that's absolutely what we are looking for. So now it's a case of let's dirty this up a little bit so it's a bit grungy, a bit, you know, looking like it's getting a bit dishevelled and a bit old and tattered. So that will be our next section to do. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to another website now, and we are going to go to textures.com. Now if you don't have an account with textures.com, it's free to join and you get free credits to use, you know, for so long. I think it's every week, 15 a week or something like that. But it's an absolute brilliant site, and we are going to get this texture here that's alphaed, already done. Now I've already downloaded this, so if you want, just click the download, save it where you want to save it, and then you will have in your textures, go back to the textures folder, where we are, GGG, grunge and decals, you will have it as this. Okay, so there is our decal. So the next thing we need to do is apply that to our map. Okay, now the way I did this is I did this in Photoshop along here, so I'm going to select that file and bring it in. I will just drag it in there like that, and as you can see, it's quite small on our map. So I shall put it there and just give it a bit of a size in to around, I don't know, let's have a look, yeah, about there. Click yes, and we get our dirt map, and you can adjust this. You can have this top and bottom if you'd like. That looks good. So if you wanted it on the bottom, you just take it, turn it round, and then position it on the bottom. Now with doing this, when you do put it on your wall, you will have to keep your let me go back to that texture a minute, that wallpaper texture. You will have to keep your sizes at 1 by 1, otherwise you will have a piece in the middle, which it'll tile it all wrong. So I wouldn't do that really, no. I would just do it the way I'm doing it here. Should be fine. fact, you could do it like that. You could have a strip down the middle if it a tile 2x2. And did I tile the other one 2x2? 2x1 I tiled it, the other one. Okay. Well, that's strange. Why did I tile it 2x1? Never mind. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, no. We shall delete that one and see what happens with this. So we'll save this out now. Save as JPEG, and we'll see what happens. And we'll save it over our diffuse. Click yes. We'll click OK. And this it will mess up, I guarantee. There we are. Right, okay, that's what. So, what I'm doing there is adjusting the offset, as you can see, and that brings it. If you hold the shift key, you will get. But I'm assuming it is 50.5, which is 50 centimeters offset, and that will give you that. So now we have our concrete dirt, but as you can see, we still have our specular reflection. So we need to adjust that. So we need to do the same thing again. We have our specular map there. So we can delete that one for now. We can combine those two. So if I move that under there, then do Control E, we have a combination. We can make a copy of it. Turn the bottom one off, leave the copy. We can then desaturate it. Doing image adjustments, desaturate, and then we can bring in our levels. Now this is going to want to be black, so I may Control Z, I may invert that first. Control Alt Z to go back more than once. So if I rasterize that layer and then layer image adjustments, and then I'll desaturate that now. Image, can I invert that straight away? I will invert that, and then I will select this image. I will image adjustments, desaturate, and then I will do Control E and then add new levels, and that is going to fix our problem. Should do nicely. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Maybe a little bit of extra this time. There we go. Yeah, so we'll have a bit more shine and a bit less shine. Looks good. Okay, so we will file, save as a JPEG, copy over our specular, click save, click OK, that's fine. Go back into Blender, get our angle so we can see our specular, as you can see here. Select our specular material, refresh it. Now the offset has to be 0.5, and there we go. And now you can see that specular working, and on the concrete it's not. That doesn't look too bad. Okay. So the next thing to do is just add a little bit more dirt. Now there are a couple of ways to do this. I mean, you could go on the internet, get yourself a grunge map. You know, you can by all means get one from textures.com. They do have some grunge maps, splatter and paint and stuff like that. They have all sorts of different things, you know, but I thought it'd be fun to try and make one, so we'll use Photoshop for that. So we'll turn these off, these layers. In fact, I will press Control E with that down so that that is applied. Turn it off, and just as a simple grunge map, let us create a new layer. Take our paintbrush and let's select something with spatter. So go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, something like that. Let's have a look. Make it big. Control Z, change it to black and white by clicking that. Let's have a look. Yes. So now we have a bit of dirt. So you can just do it where you want it, like that. I mean, you can change the size so it's all different. Change the brush even if you want. You know, Photoshop's got a lot of different brushes. So, you know, like so. Go all the way to the edge. Don't want nothing. We don't want anything too visible as such. Let's take the eraser and then, you know, erase some bits out as well. Go back to the paintbrush, bring it in. Just keep clicking and then applying your grunge. Okay, now let's see. Let's scale that a bit so it matches up. Click yes, and then we can match that up there. Select, bring it down, match that up there. Control E, and then Control E, and Control E. So we have that layer, and as you can see, we have our grunge map. Now to check this tiles, go into filter, select the layer, go into filter, go to other, offset, and then we have 1024, 1024, and you can see that offset. So if I put 0 on that one, but the other one didn't, so Control Z that. But I'm guessing it filled it. Yeah, it looks like it tiles quite nicely. Let's do filter, offset. Did that do it? Offset. Oh, it didn't come up. Right, so that's a 0. So if I put this to 512, it won't tile. But if I do 1024, which is half of 2048, and then 1024, click OK, and then just with our blur tool, which is just here, and then just give the middle line just up to there, just a little blur, just to, in case there are any little seaming issues there. Okay, now it should be our tiling texture. Save as, save it as a JPEG, and we will call this wall 01 dirt. Click save, that's fine. Go back to Blender, add another texture layer, and this time I'm going to our textures folder, find our dirt, which is there, and there's our dirt already, and not tiling there. So maybe we did something a little wrong, but we'll see. Let's just up 2 by 2 and see how we get. Yeah, there's a issue with it there, so I didn't get that right. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do that. Well, let's try again, shall we? Let's select that layer, get our eraser, take our brush and just clean it off. Okay, let's take that, let's get our brush again, let's just start. Let's adjust our brush presets for a little bit of spacing. Like so. Give it a bit of difference. Take the eraser. Ooh, let's change it to and just keep fiddling till you get a little bit of grunge. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work this time. Right, okay, we'll go with that for now, and we will do filter, offset, 1024, 1024, okay. And then we will take our brush again and we will just make some here, turn it down, let's zoom in, see what we've got here. So I can see here these little bits, so if I try and match these bits, we should get rid of our issue. Same along here. Now I know, I'm sure that GIMP has a way of doing this, but you know, this is time consuming but fun at the same time. If it wasn't fun clicking and doing our thing, we wouldn't do it. Okay, let's try that. File, save as, let's go to JPEG, let's try our dirt again. And you can see there it doesn't quite work, so let's see. Okay, back to Blender, there we go, reload, and have we got it tiling? Let's just go to 1, 1. That looks better, that's better. I wouldn't say it's quite perfect, but I'm sure you could spend a little bit more time getting it perfect. But it's not very noticeable, at least it won't be once we stick it on multiply. And then turn our colour down slightly. And then if we turn them on, are we on the right one? Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's fine like that, and you see it does affect where the shine is. As you can see here, the shine is dulling down. and we have our dirt on our wall. Okay, looks good, I'm happy with that. You know, you can always turn that shine down a bit if you don't want it quite so high. You can turn this intensity down just so it's not quite so in your face. There we go. Okay, so now we have those textures. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save as, and I'm going to just change this slightly. I'm going to call this for texture test. Texture test. Okay, and I'll save that. So we've got a texture test one, and as you can see, even in the corners, we are getting a sort of like ambient occlusion set there. Okay, so what we will do is we'll just give it a test bake and see what happens. I think that would be a reasonable thing. Now, as you can see, the back is wrong. As you can see, it's upside down, which means our UVs are upside down on this and this. So that may be something we have to look at. Let's have a quick look. So if I go into tab, select that face, select the face there, rotate it 180, oop, not by the cursor but by itself. So if I rotate it 180, press enter, and there we go, that is fixed. So we may just have to adjust these slightly. So if we rotate it 180, just check that one, I didn't get the R on that. A, rotate 180, and that one's fixed as well. Let's just check, is that tiling okay? Yeah. So I'm assuming if I just change this light a minute to a hemi light so I can see everything, yes, that one's the same. So we will go into that and we shall select it. Move that face, let's press A, rotate it 180 and press enter. Okay, so I'm assuming now that all these will be the wrong way around. So that one as well will want rotating 180, done. And that goes for this one too. So A, rotate 180, done. Now I'm assuming that one actually might be right, so I'm going to just hold off on that and I'm going to apply the texture to it a minute, because that would be a wall texture, which would be a different texture, so we'll just better check this anyway, this one. So we'll select that and we will add our wallpaper material to it, and no, that one is fine. Let's do this one, select our wallpaper material, that is fine. Select this one, select our wallpaper material, and that is fine. That's good. So the others are absolutely fine. So, and again with this one, select our wallpaper material, that's fine, and the insides are wrong. So these are the things you find. These are the things you find out when you do this kind of work, but you work through them, and then everything becomes good. So we'll rotate it 180, select that one, and we will rotate it 180, and there we are, and there's our fixed pieces. As you can see, our texture is already working, so when we bake this out it should be fine. So let's start and make a bake. So I'm going to select a new image, and I'm going to do this at 2048 by 2048, although yeah, 2048 by 2048 should be good. We'll do it as a UV grid for now, and we will call this wall texture, and we will call this, it's 01, isn't it? So it's wall 01 texture, and this will be diffuse. So it looks like there's our diffuse. So now we need to bake this. So with it selected, we shall go down to bake, and we shall bake our textures, I think it is, and we shall clear, and we should turn the margin right down a little bit, so it gives it just a few pixels, because that's all we need is a few pixels. Let's see if it'll bake, and there goes our textures. So now we are building our first texture map, and there we go. And I haven't done the back skirting board, noob, never mind. Here we go, let's sort that one out now quickly. So select L, yeah, L, is that selected? Yeah, it looks okay. Go back to our textures, select that, assign that. Oh, assigned it to the wall. Get off the wall, because you are being assigned to the wallpaper. Right. Okay. So let's bake that again. So we will bake our texture, and hopefully these two skirting board pieces down here will be fine this time. And then this bit here, this clear, this becomes important when we put our other textures on, when we do our window and our door frame and our door. These will become important when we do those. So I think, yeah, let's do our window, because the walls look fine now. Yeah. Obviously we've not assigned textures to these yet, you know, because I haven't implied that texture onto there yet, but that won't matter yet. It will show up once we sort the texture mapping out proper in game, because we'll be using this map and the specular map and such. Yeah, okay, right, so there's our first little piece, and now let's worry about this window frame. Let's separate it there. Let's give it a new texture, and we'll call this one window wood. Now let's have a look what we can find here. Let's turn the grunge off a minute. Let's have a look at woods. Oh, we have got windows, but I don't think it comes under woods, no. So we could use some of this for glass, I suppose. No, you know, you've got broken glass alphas that you can put in. So let's go back to wood, and we want painted rough wood. Let's have a look at rough wood. Show seamless only, because we want a seamless one. Not too painted would be good. We've got painted. No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look. Let's have a look at doors. No, that's not what we want. We want a wood, which is. See if we've got a painted plywood. No. No, I don't like that. Okay, well I want to use something that everyone can use. So, burned wood maybe, no, that's awful. And, yeah, maybe for something else. Fine wood. I'm not liking that there's no painted wood. Let's have a look at this. Painted. Let's just put painted in and see what comes up. So we've got painted bricks. This looks okay. Let's have a look at this. It's a seamless texture as well, that one. Not very. I'm just wondering if we'd need something a little bit more fine for our things, but we'll give it a go. Let's download this. Save as, and I'll leave it in my wood textures for now, and copy it over. So that's completed. Let me bring that up. Let me bring my decals over in a sec. Let's go to my wood. I'll make a copy of that and then put it in our folder that we are using. And I won't actually, because we're going to yeah, let's just try and I'll paste it there and we'll see how it is off the bat, I suppose. Okay, right, so let's go into our textures. Let's select a new texture, modular textures. Let's just get this painted wood. Okay, so here becomes our fun. Let's now tile this 3 times. How does that look? What do you reckon? Maybe 4 times. Let's try 4. I think even more. Maybe 6. Okay, that's not too bad. 6 isn't too bad. Let me just move that over and let's have a good look at it. I mean, it won't look right without the proper lighting, but how do you think that looks? Not bad, is it? I mean, we can always adjust the texture colour, I think. Or can we? It's not seeming to adjust it on this, unless it's because of that hemi light. It might be that. Let's select that height light again, change it back to a point light, and let's pull it over and see how it looks. Yeah, I could go for that, I suppose. It's a bit different, isn't it? Ah, yeah, now you see it's working that, so we can always change this, I think. No? Never mind. With that intensity. And with this, we will turn on. Let's just turn on the specular settings so that we should get a little bit of shine on it. And there we go. So now we just need to turn on the normals. So if we turn on that normal, as you can see straight away it goes crazy because it's way too high. So we'll put it at 0.1, and that is a hell of a lot better. I still think it needs to be a little different though. I mean, it's looking okay. It's looking okay. Maybe 10, 10, 10. Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. I think that looks a little bit better. Yeah, maybe that normal is still a little too high, so and put it at 0.05, and there we go. That's looking good. So we have our window ready to go. So with the window selected, we have our map here. Now we already have these colours, so in our bake options, if we bake now with this clear tab ticked here, it would get rid of our texture here, which is not what we want. So I'm going to untick that, leave it on textures, and then select bake, and as you can see, in goes our window. So there's our window texture. So as before, let's select the door frame, and I shall use that same painted texture. Let's have a look at that, and there we go. Oof, don't know. Let's have a look with a light near it. Oh, not too bad with a light near it. I think the normals could be a little high still, although it's supposed to be an old abandoned place, so you know, I don't know, it could be okay, you know. We'll go with that for now. Okay, so as before, select the door. Again, we've got our texture space here, which is looking reasonably okay. We'll see how it is when we apply that texture. It may have been better to have that at a higher resolution, but you know, this is all a learning process, so you're learning, I'm learning, everyone's learning. So let's bake our door. Door selected, door frame selected should I say. Go over to our render tab, go down, textures, clear is not yet, bake. Okay, now we're getting there, we're nearly done. Door, now I think a wooden door, so I wonder what wood we could use. Let's go here again, instead of painted, let's have a look at wood, see what we have. Is there anything that's good? Fine wood. This could work, something on here. We want to make sure it's a seamless texture because we're going to have to adjust this maybe. So let's have a look what we find. That looks nice. That's nice. Let's have a look at this one. This nice dark one. Yeah, I could go with that. It's seamless. Let's have a look at that one. It's a strange size, but never mind. Let's have a look. We'll grab that. You don't have to use these, obviously. You can use whichever ones you like. But I just thought it'd be nice so that whoever is following along could do as I do, and yeah. Alright, so I need to find my textures folder a minute. Bring that over from the other screen. Go down to my woods, and it is this one here, so I will make a copy of that. I will put it in my PD folder, Blender, tutorials, modular textures, and I shall paste it there. Okay, so we have our texture in now. Minimize that. With our door selected, we should create a new material. We'll call this door wood. I never mentioned the frame, did I? The frame material, wallpaper, door wood, window wood. Oh yes, I did. Oh, brilliant. So we've got our door wood. Should we go up? We should get a new texture. We should open that texture up. Go into our modular textures, and we can see our door wood is here. Just open that, and there we go. Now that definitely wants a little bit of adjustment, so let's scale it 2 by 2 by 2. Now I don't know if it's even the right way. That texture, would you say it'd go up and down or across? I was betting more on up and down. I don't know, let's see. 3. Now it's easy to sort that out because you just open it in your viewer, rotate it, close, it'll save, go back to Blender, refresh it, and then it will sort that out. Now I think that looks better, definitely. Okay, so let's turn on our speculars. Yeah, definitely colour and hardness, that gives it a nice little dull reflection. Turn on the normals, and that looks absolutely terrible, so we'll drop it right down to 0.002, because it should still be quite a smooth door. So 0.02, there we go. Yeah, it's a little battered and dishevelled. Now I wonder if I make that door smooth. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad in smooth shading, does it? If there's something, still prefer it in flat shading though. Just gives it a little bit more definition, and I'm sure we could maybe make an AO map for this as well. The same way we're doing this map, we can make an ambient occlusion map, which will be done from global lighting. So yeah, we will do that as well at some point. But this, I'm liking this at the moment. It's looking okay. It's a little bright, the yellow, I grant, but it's fun. You can use whatever texture you like. This is just the technique. So let's bake our door. So let's select our door again. This time go to the render tab, and then again leave the clear as such, and let's bake our door texture. And there's our door texture. And as you can see, it's just a plain texture. The only actual difference we're getting at the moment is off our shape in the scene. And when we bake an ambient occlusion map, this will absolutely look a lot better because it will define that and them edges more. Okay, so we're looking good. So the only thing we've not done is the window, which I don't know how I'm doing it in here. Let's have a quick go. I've not done a window. Yep, we're on a window. Let's make a new material. I've not done a transparent material in Blender for a long time. Let's cast receive transparency. I don't know if I need that on. I need transparency on alpha. There we go. Ooh, okay. I'll just give it a little bit of colour. A bit bluey. Okay. Let's have a look at this. It has been a long time since I've done a transparent glass. It's meant to be, no, where is it there? That's the one for glass. Turn that intensity down. Translucency. No. Nope, not shadeless. I don't want shadeless, do I? I want, I suppose, a little bit of reflectivity. Losing my view. Very coming back. Right, we've got a little bit of reflectivity. I'm sure I can do the reflectivity mapping. This will come up as a what is it? Metallic mapping thing. Unity. Okay. Let's go with that, and let's see if it'll just bake it. I don't know. I don't know. We will have to have a look whether it'll bake a transparent white colour. So let's go to our bake tab. I wonder if I would have to bake alpha. I probably would. So I'd have to bake a texture and I'd have to use an alpha map for it. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Our window is selected. And let's bake, and there it is. And it is baked with alpha. So if we save that as a PNG in Unity, it would use it well. In fact, we could put some streaks on there. We want a dirty window, really, don't we? So we've got our material there. Let's just add new texture. Let's use a procedural texture this time. Should we just use, I don't know, a bit of marble? Let's have a look. Bring this over so we can see it a little bit. There we go. No, can you see that? Anyway, everyone see that? That little purple haze. Because our purple is purple. Let's give it a bit of dark blue. You can't really see that now. Let's screen it. Put the blue up, see what we get. Not really much on screen. Overlay. Nope. Mix. We should get it on mix, surely. RGB to intensity. Let's try to scale a little bit. No. We'll go back to the material a sec, and then we shall turn that transparency a little bit. Because we are at, it probably will be at night in our scene, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of transparency, wouldn't it, so we can see through. Okay, so let's do a multiply. Is that going to work? Let's try black. Ah, now something's happened there, hasn't it? With our texture. There we go, getting a bit of effect. Yeah, should we just see what it does in our texture window, and you never know, you might be able to see something. So let's bake our texture, and there we go, we have our texture. So I need to just turn down that alpha again, otherwise that would be not see-through enough. So let's turn down our alpha because it is glass. Let's bake it out again. And there we go, that's a better result. So there we are, guys. For now it's looking well. So I think I will leave this as texture test. I will save it. Save it as number texture top 5 texture test. There we go. And well, thank you for joining me. It's been a bit of a learning curve for all of us. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.